The story starts with a man walking on a quiet, peaceful beach. While he walks along the shore, he sees a woman sitting alone, reading a book. She looks very focused. The man walks up to her and starts talking. They introduce themselves. The man's name is Kono, and the woman is Malin. Malin says she comes to the beach often to read and enjoy some quiet time. She says it helps her feel calm and happy. Malin is very smart. She can speak many languages and loves reading books from different places in the world. Kono works as a librarian. He finds Malin interesting, not just because she reads a lot, but also because she seems calm and mysterious. While talking, Malin says that she is married and has kids. Even though she's married, there's a quiet bond starting between her and Kono. A few days later, Kono is at the library, sorting books. Suddenly, Malin comes to visit him. She's wearing dark sunglasses, which seems strange to him. When he asks about them, she doesn't explain clearly. After a while, she hints that something bad happened at home after her last visit to the beach. It sounds like her husband might have hurt her. She seems like she's trying to see if she can trust Kono or maybe need someone to talk to. Malin tells him that she's been reading about crime stories, especially about people who kill others. She says it's something she finds very interesting. She asks Kono where those kind of books are. Kono takes her to the right part of the library. Malin picks 2 books and gives them to Kono, saying he might like them too. At first, he says no politely, but then takes them. Before she leaves, he gives her his phone number and hopes they'll talk again. Later, Kono meets a police officer named Jokes at a small diner. The officer reminds Kono about his past and warns him to stay out of trouble. He speaks loudly, and other people in the diner, who know Kono's past, hear everything. Jokes, angry, stands up, pushes his food away, and leaves the diner. Even though the officer was harsh, he seems to know that something is bothering Kono. Before leaving, the officer warns him again. If anything bad happens, Kono will go back to jail. He also tells him to come meet again next week. Later, Kono calls Malin and asks if they can meet. But Malin says she can't because her daughter is with her, and she has to wait until her daughter's father picks her up. Kono says it's okay and tells her to meet whenever she can. After the call, another police officer walks by and tells Kono the place is closing soon. It's around 5 or 6 in the evening. The officer knows Kono and tells him to leave quickly. This shows that people are watching Kono closely. At the library, one of Kono's co-workers, Kim, talks to him kindly. She asks if he has plans after work and even says she can join him. But before they can talk more, Malin walks in with her stepdaughter, Malik. Kim sees them and understands that this is the woman Kono was waiting for. She looks surprised and maybe a little jealous. Kono sends Malik to look for a book so he can quickly send an email. While Malik is gone, Malin comes close to Kono and they share a private, warm moment. Their bond becomes stronger. It's clear they are more than just friends now. Some days later, Kim tells Kono something that worries her. She says Malin's daughter is dating an older man. Kono listens quietly and says that people should be free to choose who they like, even if others don't agree. That evening, Kono visits Malin again. Their talk becomes more personal. Malin asks if he likes older women. Kono gives an answer that makes her feel safe and special. Then Malin brings up Kim, saying she noticed that Kim might like Kono. But Kono says there's nothing between him and Kim. He only cares about Malin. Malin then says she wishes she could always be with Kono. But she knows it's hard because of her life at home. Still, when she's with him, she feels safe and cared for, feeling she doesn't get at home. She says things at home are not good. Her husband often fights with her and treats her badly. Kono tells her that maybe she should go to the police and take legal steps to protect herself. But Malin shakes her head. She says things aren't that simple. Some problems, she says, just can't be fixed easily. Kono listens quietly, then decides it's time to tell her something important about his past. He tells her that, years ago, he was at a family party. There, he saw a boy named Kale acting badly with a girl. Kale was being disrespectful. Kono tried to stop him, but Kale laughed and ignored him. Angry and upset, Kono pushed Kale. Kale fell, hit his head, and didn't wake up. He went into a coma and never recovered. Because of this, Kono was sent to prison for 3 years. After jail, Kono didn't go back to school. Instead, he got a job at the library. A friend helped him, and now he lives in the basement of the building. Even though he's trying to live a normal life, he still has bad dreams and feels guilty about what happened. About a week later, Malin visits Kono again. She looks tired and sad. She says she had another fight with her husband. Things at home are still bad, but being with Kono makes her feel a little better. When she's around him, she feels calm and safe, something she doesn't feel at home. They become intimate again. While they're close, Kono sees bruises on Malin's hand. It's clear that her husband has hurt her. Kono thinks about how some people die under strange conditions, like falling downstairs. But before he can say more, Malin quickly changes the subject, like she doesn't want to talk about it. Later, Malin drops Kono off. Kono tells her he wants to see her again, and even asks if he can come to her home. Malin doesn't say yes or no. She avoids the question. When Kono gently asks her if she's hiding something, she suddenly turns cold and tells him to leave. Kono feels confused and hurt, but doesn't say anything. He just walks away. One day, Kono sees Malin again, but this time, she's with her family. Her daughter Malik is there, along with Malik's boyfriend. They say hello politely, but it feels awkward. Malik asks Kono about a book she had been reading, and Kono answers kindly, but deep down, he feels like he doesn't belong. He feels left out, like he's being pushed away. Kim, who had feelings for Kono, watches this moment from a distance. She realizes that Malin has made Kono feel lonely and unwanted. The next morning, Malin calls Kono. Her voice sounds scared and broken. Kono understands right away. Her husband has hurt her again. This time, Kono speaks seriously. He talks about wishing for a better ending, one where the bad guy is gone, and the two people who care for each other can finally be happy and safe. Malin listens quietly. She acts like she doesn't understand, but she doesn't stop him either. Then, Kono carefully brings up the idea of doing something that would make that peaceful ending real. Shockingly, Malin doesn't say no. Soon, she tells Kono that her husband will be gone for 2 days on a work trip. This gives them time to make a plan. Malin explains that their house has no alarm, no cameras, and that her husband sleeps heavily after drinking. She also says he keeps a weapon under the bed. Kono starts to feel unsure. He asks Malin if she's just using him to get money. Malin says no. She explains that the money actually belongs to her daughter, Astrid, and she won't get it until she turns 25. Malin won't get anything. Even though Kono knows this is risky, he and Malin grow close again. After being intimate, Kono tells her from now on, she should only text him, never call. They choose a code word to use when it's time. Once it's done, they believe they can finally be free and together without fear. Later, when Kono goes home, he finds 2 police officers waiting. They ask where he was all day. A theft happened somewhere, and they're checking the area. They say he didn't answer their calls. Kono lies and says he was visiting a friend at a hospital. The officers don't believe him fully, but they leave without doing anything. One evening, Kono agrees to have dinner with Kim. She's trying to spend time with him again, but Kono keeps checking his phone. He's distracted. Kim notices and gets upset. Earlier, he had refused to go jogging with her, and now he isn't really talking. Kono tells her he only sees her as a friend. Kim is heartbroken and leaves the dinner without saying much. That night, Kono sneaks into Malin's house. He's ready to go through with the plan. At first, he doesn't see her husband. Then he hears him talking to Astrid on the phone. Kono moves quietly, trying to sneak up, but suddenly, the husband grabs a weapon and points it at Kono. Before he can shoot, someone hits the husband from behind. It's Astrid's boyfriend. Kono is shocked. He realizes the situation is much more complicated than he thought. The police had already been watching Kono. They had been tracking his calls and movements. Now he knows. He walked right into a trap. Kono starts to understand. Maybe Malin, her daughter, and the boyfriend had set him up from the start. Everything feels too perfectly timed. After this, he tells them they should make it look like he and the husband fought and killed each other. Malin stands there, silent. She shows no feeling, no emotion. Both Kono and Malin seem shaken. The next day, Officer Joke meets Kono. He asks him about last night. Kono acts like he doesn't remember anything. When the officer sees a new cut on Kono's arm, Kono says he got it while jogging. The officer gives him a chance to tell the truth. But Kono says he has nothing else to say. Days pass. Kono tries to live normally again. One morning, he gets a message from Alan. She says she's very happy now. Kono smiles. Maybe they can finally be together. He steps outside, full of hope. But he stops in shock. The police are waiting for him. Officer Joke is there. He tells Kono not to panic. He just wants to talk. But then he says something terrifying. Kono's fingerprints were found at the crime scene. The police also found out he had been working with Astrid's boyfriend. Everything now points to Kono. Kono panics and tries to run. The police chase after him. Officer Joke calls out, asking him to stop and give up. Kono shouts, asking how they found him. Joke says someone gave them a tip. Someone told the police everything. Then he shows Kono a small keychain found at the crime scene. It was a gift from Malon's father, something Kono remembers clearly. That's when Kono knows the truth. Malon betrayed him. He breaks down, his heart crushed. Still, he agrees to surrender. He slowly raises his hands. But just then his phone rings. As he reaches to answer it, the police mistake it as a threat, and they shoot. Kono falls to the ground. He dies right there. In the final scene, we see Malon with Astrid. Now we understand the full story. The whole plan was made by Malon and her daughter. They were in a secret relationship. They wanted to be free from Malon's husband. Now that he's gone, they live peacefully, together, safe, and in control.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.